Have you ever wondered what happens when the dream of a better life abroad shatters? Millions of Filipinos leave their homeland in search of opportunity, but for some, that dream turns into a nightmare. Behind the staggering numbers of homeless Filipinos lie heartbreaking stories, hidden struggles, and harsh realities that will make you pause and reflect. In this video, we reveal the top 10 countries with the most homeless Filipinos, uncovering the reasons behind their struggles and whether there's a way out of this devastating cycle. New Zealand. New Zealand, with its breathtaking landscapes and peaceful environment, seems like a dream destination. Yet, for some Filipinos, it becomes a harsh reality. The cost of living is unforgiving, with rent soaring beyond what many can afford on minimum wage. Many workers find themselves living in shipping containers, cramped shelters, or even under the open sky. Some, deceived by false promises of stable jobs, lose everything in an instant and have nowhere to turn. Despite shelters and aid from the Filipino community, many still struggle in silence, hoping for a way out. 9. Australia. Australia, a land of golden beaches and economic promise, often paints a picture of success. But beneath the prosperity lies a growing issue: Filipino workers who arrive with high hopes, only to be crushed by the skyrocketing cost of living. With rent consuming most of their wages, many are left with no choice but to share overcrowded apartments, sleep on friends' couches, or in the worst cases, end up on the streets. The cycle of unstable contracts and sudden job losses makes survival an ongoing battle, where every day is filled with uncertainty. 8. Singapore. Singapore shines as a beacon of modernity and success, but behind the glowing skyline are Filipinos struggling to find a place to sleep at night. The cost of even the smallest room is staggering, while wages remain low for many migrant workers. Some take refuge in public stairwells, parks, or 24-hour establishments just to stay safe. Others, after losing their jobs unexpectedly, find themselves unable to pay rent, relying on the kindness of strangers or charity organizations just to survive another day. 7. Malaysia. Malaysia is a land of opportunity for thousands of Filipino workers, but for some, it becomes a place of hardship and despair. Laborers often earn wages too low to secure stable housing, forcing them into unsafe, overcrowded living spaces. Many undocumented workers live in constant fear, unable to seek help or legal protection. Natural disasters, like sudden floods, can wash away what little they have, leaving them homeless overnight. Even those who work legally struggle to find a way out of the poverty trap that keeps them on the edge of survival. 6. Qatar. Qatar, a nation of luxury and towering skyscrapers, offers employment to thousands of Filipinos, but it comes at a cost. Many arrive with dreams of prosperity, only to become trapped in low-paying jobs that barely cover their expenses. The strict sponsorship system leaves them at the mercy of employers, and when their contracts end, they are left with nothing: no home, no income, and no way to leave. Some find temporary shelter in labor camps, while others are forced to sleep on the streets, battling the relentless desert heat. 5. Kuwait. Kuwait, a land of wealth and privilege for some, is a land of suffering for others. Filipino workers, especially domestic helpers and laborers, often find themselves in impossible situations. Some have their passports confiscated, their wages withheld, and their rights stripped away. When they try to escape, they are left with nowhere to go, seeking shelter in overcrowded safe houses or sleeping in abandoned buildings. The cycle of exploitation continues, leaving many to wonder if they will ever be free. 4. Canada. Canada, often seen as a land of dreams, hides a harsh reality. For many Filipinos, the soaring cost of rent and the instability of low-wage jobs create a trap from which escape is difficult. Losing a job often means losing a home, and with housing costs at an all-time high, many are left sleeping in their cars, in shelters, or worse, in the freezing streets during winter. The bitter cold is unforgiving, and despite government programs and charities, thousands continue to struggle against an unrelenting system. 3. United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates is a place of luxury, yet many Filipinos working there find themselves in the depths of despair. The labor sponsorship system ties workers to their employers, making it nearly impossible to leave abusive jobs. When they are suddenly fired or abandoned, they have no way to afford rent or even food. Some are forced to sleep under bridges, in construction sites, or in makeshift camps, struggling to survive in a land where wealth is everywhere, but never within reach for them. 2. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, with its immense oil wealth, attracts thousands of Filipino workers every year. But within its borders, many find themselves trapped in cycles of poverty and exploitation. Workers in construction, healthcare, and domestic service often endure low wages and harsh conditions. When they lose their jobs, they have no safety net, no legal protection, and no home to return to. Many sleep in abandoned labor camps, under mosque archways, or in the desert itself, waiting for help that may never come. 1. United States. The United States, the land of opportunity, is also the country with the highest number of homeless Filipinos. The cost of housing in major cities is staggering, while wages for low-skilled jobs remain barely enough to survive. Many arrive with high hopes, only to face an uphill battle of job instability, unaffordable rent, and lack of access to social support. Some end up sleeping in their cars, in shelters, or under bridges, enduring the bitter cold of winter or the scorching heat of summer. The American dream, for them, is nothing but an illusion, one they are constantly chasing, but never quite reaching. From Canada's freezing streets to the unbearable heat of the Middle East, thousands of Filipinos find themselves living a nightmare instead of the dream they once sought. The road to a better life is paved with hardships, and not everyone makes it to the other side. The question remains, is there hope for them? Or will they forever remain invisible, lost in the corners of foreign lands, unheard and unseen? What are your thoughts on these heartbreaking realities? Drop a comment, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening stories.